This is a world where we declare war. How to respond to a world when people are telling you no. That you can't. They want you to walk in the door and be professional, bring your picture and your resume. You come in there straight and then what? Talking on the phone. Just rude, just completely rude.
I think hiccups come so that they teach us lessons, and sometimes we have to roll with it and see where it lands us, and luckily this is landing me still in a good place. Here we go.
So they brought it back.
Well, after he must have said no. Hey, how are you?
Are you ready to share some more stories with an actors like the series?
Hello, my name is Hisham Tawfiq.
Nadhege, Ptah.
Bill Johnson.
Milton, Washington.
And you already know who I am. I'm gonna put the camera on the tripod.
Okay.
My beginnings were, I was raised an extremely religious household, Muslim. My father was the imam or the minister of this community. I don't even think I knew of the word artist. I always did karate and soccer and all that stuff. I started playing football. I excelled extremely well, and I got injured. One year I broke my thumb, needed surgery. The next year I broke my ribs, had a collapsed lung. So I couldn't play. One day I was walking through the hallway, and the dance studio had a picture of Herschel Walker in tights. My friend was like, I dare you to take a dance class. So I'm looking at all the girls in there and I'm like, I play football, Herschel Walker's in tights.
Wow.
Why can't I be in tights, right? So I took his dare and I started dancing. And that was my first experience with the arts, and just something about dancing, and specifically African dance. It was just so freeing to be on stage and the drums. And I think just from there on, it took me in a whole nother direction where I had dreams of being in the NFL. And for some reason, after I took dance, that dream didn't die, but because of my injuries, I couldn't pursue it. I had to wait for it to heal. And then at the same time, I was graduating from high school. I could have went to Hampton on football scholarship. I could have went to Cornell. They said, well, you can come to the school, but you got to go to summer school. And that same summer, I also had the opportunity to go to France with my dance company that I just joined. And at that same year, my father passed, and my mother passed when I was 4. So it was like my senior year in high school, the gates opened, and I was on my own. I have 4 younger brothers. I'm sure if my father was alive, he'd have been like, Cornell. Nobody was there to give me guidance or anything, so I was like, France.
Really? As an artist and you making that decision, that's beautiful.
I just jumped up, went to France. I had a ball. I came back. I continued to dance. But like I said, at the same time, not having parents and having 4 brothers, I was always driven by money. I had to take care of myself and them. Once I started getting older, when I went into the Marines and corrections, that's when it became, oh, you dance. You must be gay.
Right, I was gonna say that you have
dance, and that's when I first started getting that experience of doing something I wanted to do, and people being like, that's kind of not acceptable. My father had done such a great job with just planting the seed of, you can do whatever you want. Even though we never discussed dancing, acting, or anything, the seed was planted even in the Marines. They're like, yeah, I dance, what's up? And then when I got out corrections, I danced, what's up? And I did that for years, and I went to so many countries just dancing. The show was called La Cabeza. We did it at the Apollo, and it was about this African warrior, this great African king, and I got to play the king, and that was the first time we mixed dancing with theater. So then also I was like, oh wow, this theater thing's kind of cool. And somebody just heard me say that. I went to Columbia and took did this show that to this day I have no clue what it was about. It was I think it was one of those shows where I played like 10 characters, from a soldier to a little boy to an old lady. I always said, yes, I want to dance, I want to act, I want to do that, but I have to have some type of job to take care of me, my brothers, and later on my son. I'm a firefighter, and I've been that going on 17 years. And people wonder, you always, if you're a firefighter, you don't really love the arts. You got a city job. It's almost like we're kind of brainwashed that if you're an artist, that you have to live poor, but sacrifice your dreams of having a nice car or a house and all of that. But I've been blessed to have a job to can financially take care of me, my son, all my other responsibilities, and at the same time I am actively pursuing my craft, as far as whether it be dancing, and now it's theater or writing or whatever it is. And that's my story, man. It's especially in the fire department, it's like anything that's not macho, dancing's not macho, acting's not macho, reading poetry, going to the theater is not macho. But I think because, like this brother said, I was always fit. Dark skin helps, I made sure I never smiled.
We get some of that today.
Exactly. And you learn, especially as a male, being surrounded by people who don't just take you for what you worth. You learn how to carry yourself in a way where they don't even approach you. Then the ones that do approach you, you can easily put them in their place, especially if you're physically fit. If I can get you on football, basketball, and every other thing that you do, and I want to act, what you gonna say?
And you get more girls than they do. It's over.
How does your career intertwine, or is it affected by being a Muslim? Your faith?
Certain things you won't do or can't do?
Well, it's funny, is because of my father and who he was, everybody in the community never really challenged me. I don't know if it was out of respect or fear. They never challenged me, so I could say I was probably the first Muslim that I know that was dancing. I know what Islam means to me, and I didn't look at it as in a way where it held me back from pursuing anything.
So your religion doesn't, the teaching of Islam doesn't interplay with...
It doesn't inhibit me. If anything, it's allowed me to stand up for what I want to do.
There you go.
If I didn't have a belief, like I said, if I wasn't a strong believer in my faith and what I was here to do, then all of those other things that I would have completely gave in and assimilated and became part of the norm. Okay, I'm not supposed to dance, I'm a Marine, and that's what you think I'm supposed to do, I'm gonna do that. But it was because of my faith that really made me stick to it and say, no, I could be Muslim, I can do this. Until 9/11, then it became like, who are you? And then I was like, no,
whose side are you on?
I'm the same person.
Do you have any secrets?
No, there are no secrets. You've seen my actions, that's who I am.
Some really good stories that you guys shared with our audience. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have these beautiful faces on the show. Thank you.
And we need to see these faces in all
Yes,
the
we
shows.
do.
Definitely. Support these faces. It's a tough journey, but we keep getting up and we keep fighting no matter what. So you can throw at us whatever you want. We're too small, we're too big, we're too dark, we're too light, we're not cute, we're too ugly, your hair is kinky, your hair is too straight. We don't care. If you haven't gotten that from the stories, we don't care. We just don't, because we love what we do.
And we're gonna keep doing it.
We're gonna keep doing it. We hope that you love us at the end of the day. I'm gonna go around in the fashion of my other episodes, and you guys can give a final word to the audience about struggle.
I would just say, dreams come true, man. They do. They absolutely do. So you have to continue. I've always been a dreamer, and it's eerie seeing them come to life now. Keep dreaming.
Keep dreaming.
I'll segue, keep believing. Because you could keep dreaming, but if you don't believe in your dream, then the dream won't manifest.
and do the work to make that dream come true. If you want to be a dancer or an actor, whatever, study so you know what you're talking about when you go in that audition. Put the money aside so you can get those headshots, have those tapes done. You got to prepare yourself. It's not just going to happen just because you dream it.
Right.
You got to do the work, and you can't wait for anybody else to do the work for you.
To me, the overarching thing has to be stay open in terms of surrounding yourself with people that you respect. Stay open to new ideas, new technique that's going to enhance your craft. Stay open in terms of you got 4 completely different perspectives here, and we're all still in the game. We're still at it. So to me, that measures success to me. So we're still able to fight the next day. Whatever's gonna make me feel good, whatever's gonna make me do better, whatever thing, I try to stay open to suck all that in.
I was just having a conversation about being open to everything. Quick war story before I leave. I was probably 5 years old when the egg donor, yes, that's what I called her, the egg donor. That's a whole other show. My dad knew someone at Albinelli, and I was going to be able to go study at Albinelli. And she was a messed up person, so she told me that I couldn't dance. And so I couldn't go, and I was devastated. I knew that I wanted to learn dancing, and if I had to learn it and she wasn't gonna let me learn it, I'd learn it myself. So the lesson would be, yes, perseverance. Don't let anybody stop you from doing whatever you want to do, because when you have all the negativity and all the, you can't do it in your ear, can't is not an option. That's all I'm gonna say. And that's just like the series. We'll see you next time.
I dare you to declare war on your passion and your dreams by any means necessary. And so what if you have to work at McDonald's, or you have to work to feed your family or to pay the bills? Who cares? Because as long as the other hours that you spend are spent on your passion and spent on your family and spent on the things that you love, hey, nothing else matters. Be inspired.
I've had pivotal moments to where I was frustrated, I cried.
But could not consider me seriously for the role of Cinderella's prince, because they didn't know how the audience would take to Cinderella having a black prince.
I was one of those people who figured out that I was an artist long before I figured it out, long before I was willing to own it.
So I get there and I couldn't do it. I just had a meltdown.
The only profession that exists is either you're a doctor, engineer, or lawyer.
I'm a little black kid from South Korea, right? And I think like many of us, we're all artists first in terms of the medium in which we pursue it.
I was a regular little black boy in Baltimore. Big glasses, big head, big lips, big feet. Everything in the middle was skinny.